Hello and welcome to another episode of the Startup Operator Roundup. I'm Roshan Karyappa.
And I'm Gunjan Saha, and together we'll be bringing you the biggest headlines from India's startup ecosystem. Now, the first week of May has been really positive for the community as we had a lot of unicorn companies that entered profitability. Then we also have Zoho that has entered the race for an AI powered web browser, which will be keeping the privacy needs for the user as a priority. On the other hand, Visa has also launched a CVV-free payment feature for tokenized transactions that has gained a lot of popularity since 2021. And then Swiggy has started charging customers a platform fee. And we also have VC firm Chirate Ventures raising a new fund of rupees 1,000 crore. Along with that, we'll also discuss some of the biggest fundraisers of the week. So stay tuned and we hope you enjoy this show. During this weekend, we also had the Prime Minister Narendra Modi visit Bangalore for a rally as we are approaching the state elections. And Roshan, I think you got a chance to see him. So what was that experience like?
Yeah, it was amazing. Some 8 lakh people showed up apparently on the streets to welcome the man. And, I say this to everyone, right? So irrespective of whether you like him or don't like him, and people feel stronger feelings than that. But, it's important to understand the phenomenon that is Narendra Modi, right? And, old, young, family, bachelors, I mean, you name it, you name any demographic profile, they were there on the streets, right? And for us as startup folks, it's very important to see things as they are and not as, what we want it to be, right? I don't know what it is about the man that causes such emotion. It's something that one has to like very closely study and perhaps adopt these things in messaging, communication, building virality, and so on and so forth. I mean, it could be tremendously useful, right? So yeah, I mean, all of the boring stuff aside, I mean, it was awesome. I raced against time to kind of make it to Jayanagar South End and got a good glimpse of the man as he waved through the crowds and everything. And yeah, I mean, kudos to the security, man. I mean, the Prime Minister was just about 30, 40 feet away from me. And must have been such a crazy security nightmare, I mean, so kudos to the folks who are keeping him safe. And it was interesting. It was very interesting to see the motorcade and the city all alive and abuzz with the activity.
Also, I think this is a good time to remind everyone that the polling is happening on May 10th. So please do...
please go out and vote.
Yeah.
Please go out and vote. Last time, the voter turnout was so abysmal in Bangalore with 48, 49%. We definitely deserve more. Let's get it closer to 60% at least if possible, right? And this time it's not on a, weekend. So please don't make excuses. It's on a Wednesday. So go out and vote.
Yep. Hey, I'll need a leave because I want to go vote.
Show me your voting ink and then perhaps, we'll figure something out, yeah?
All right. So last week, a lot of companies released their fiscal year financial statements. And among that was Paytm that reported an EBITDA before ESOP cost of 234 crores and revenue from operations increasing 61% year on year to 7,990 crores in FY23. Apart from that, they've also seen steady growth among all their business verticals from lending to financing to merchants. Apart from Paytm, MobiKwik and Freshworks has also turned profitable. MobiKwik has doubled its revenue to over 1,000 CR in the current fiscal along with full year profitability. And the company closed the 2022-2023 financial year with 39% net revenue growth at 560 crore rupees. Freshworks, which is listed in the Nasdaq in US, reported its first adjusted operating profit of $3.9 million, and the company raised its full year 2023 financial forecast midpoint for an adjusted operating profit of $5 million. Now, these are healthy numbers, and it's good to see that after all the discussions we have had, how startups should focus on profitability, growth, sustainability, and stuff.
Yeah,
we are finally seeing news that hey, unicorns are crossing that line.
See, this is what public markets do to you, right? They impute a certain sense of discipline that otherwise, you are somehow insulated from, right? In the private markets, it can all be about the next fundraise and the fundraise after that, right? So, 22 has been such a sobering year for startups. And this is really amazing to see, man. This is really heartening. I'm actually rooting for all of these companies, whether it is Freshworks, whether it is MobiKwik, whether it is Paytm, really rooting for them. They're really getting their house in order. Take Paytm for example, right? I mean, they've streamlined the business tremendously, right? Earlier, before the IPO, maybe perhaps for selling that $20 billion story, they had to show that they were in 50 different verticals. But today, they're acting like a proper fintech, right? Which is what they were born to be, and they're streamlining the business properly. We've discussed the whole Paytm sound machines that have worked really well. Now, again, that might be a minor thing. It's not like a earth-shattering innovation, but hey, that is generating some 100+ crores or more every month for them, right? Which is
And it was so successful that even companies like PhonePe and
yeah,
others
everyone's doing it. Phone Pay,
copied it.
Bharat Pay, etc. are copying it, and that market may very well get commoditized. But the thinking matters, right? I mean, the fact that they put their customer needs at the center and innovated around that, not simply try to become another e-commerce store or mall, whatever else, right? So that is very very heartening to see. And similar with Freshworks, right? See, look, Freshworks again, is such a beacon of light for SaaS companies, fast-growing SaaS companies especially, right? And it's really good to see that their focus on profitability is like on at least, I mean, on good grounds for now, right? SaaS companies should, I don't know, make anywhere between 60 to 80% gross margins, but I don't know how you end up in a situation where you're actually operating at a loss, right? I mean, you can account for market expansion, you can account for all of this, other expenses and everything, but at the end of the day, I mean, if you look at some of the leading SaaS companies out there, I mean, you can turn profitable, right? I mean, you can turn on that switch. It's good that people are thinking in that sustainable fashion, and they're not just thinking about who's the next buyer going to be or who is going to be the next person funding the round. So I'm very very happy to see this, and I hope MobiKwik at some point of time decides to go through with their IPO and comes into the market. Yeah, so fantastic
But
news.
these three companies you spoke, right? MobiKwik, Freshworks, and Paytm, two fintechs and one B2B SaaS, right? These two categories have been the drivers of the India startup story. So do you think we'll see more fintechs and B2B SaaS emerging to be profitable, or we'll see a more variety of companies?
SaaS, definitely, right? I mean, SaaS, if you ask me, again, you can call me old fashioned, but there's no reason to make a loss, right? You can turn on a profit if you really intend to, you know. On the fintech side of things, I think it'll all depend on innovation, because payments is a business that, it's a dogfight business, right? Basically, your transaction fees, everything is going to go down to zero. Especially with the amount of public infrastructure that we have in India. I mean, of course, it's going to go down to zero. So it's what services you layer on top of that. So which means that you have to figure out what your customer needs are, wants are, etc. And if you are going to go and become a lender, well, I mean, you have to again be very prudent on that front, right? And then people are going to judge you like any other lender, basically, right? I mean, why should they not judge you as how they would judge an ICICI or a HDFC or maybe some NBFC, right? They will judge you that way, and you have to be prepared to match up to that barometer.